Psalm 55:22 says this: Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will not let the righteous be shaken. Have you ever tried to carry something that's really, really heavy? Or better yet, have you ever been to a Mexican restaurant? I know this is quite a little bit of a jump here, but you ever been to a Mexican restaurant and you have a big party that you're sitting with, and then all of a sudden you see the waiter or waitress come out with an entire arm full of everything you ordered? No, not a stand or a dolly or a cart, but the entire arm full. I can only imagine that is so incredibly heavy to carry for long periods of time. Well, that was kind of a funny illustration, but think about it this way. You are not meant to carry something that is heavy for a long period of time. We think about our joints, our back, our muscles, and they ache and they long for rest. We have that same kind of mentality as well when we're carrying emotional issues or spiritual issues. And sometimes we just try to work on our strength and durability instead of giving them over to God, who wants to carry them for us. So I really think when Psalm 55:22 is asking us, or saying that we need to cast our burdens on Him, it's not just saying that so that because we kind of mess things up sometimes, although we do, and I think we can all admit that. But I think it's important to understand that God has made us in a way in which we must be dependent on Him. So I would say, whatever you're carrying today, and whatever you are trying to haul through your life and dragging, imagine the whole idea of dragging something, and when you look behind you, there's a big divot or a big trough, if you will, in the ground from you dragging. Imagine when you're doing that you look back and start to really reflect on how heavy something was and how, from the very beginning, you didn't need to carry it. So, we all have things that are on our shoulders, things that are weighing us down, things that cause us to go into a bit of commotion. God wants those things. And if we lay them at His feet as a sacrifice, that is a sacrifice worthy and pleasing to God. So rely on Him today. We're called to be dependent on Him. Don't don't go through life alone as if God is not listening or does not care, because He does. Also, think about this. God has built community around you, through the church, through others who believe. And if you feel like you do not have enough others who believe around you, get around others who believe, and they can be a burden carrier for you as well. So, between God and community, obviously God being paramount and community being secondary to God, um, we can cast our cares on God and each other. And we don't want to bother each other, right? We don't want to be a bother, but God asks us to carry each other's burdens as well. We can be God's representative to the person sitting next to us, the person living with us, the person that we're currently in conflict with, even. And don't forget that we're not called to be alone and carry these things alone. Have a great week.